Hi guys, we're out on the bank again today doing some product testing. Last time you joined me at Alders Farm where we were catching some carp and a few skimmers, and today you're joining me at the prolific Meadowlands Fishery near Coventry. Product testing, today I'm out using some of the new hollow elastic. I've got a 3 to 6 soft elastic, and in the other top kit I've got a 5 to 8. My rigs, I'm just going to talk you through my rigs. I've got a 4x14s F1 maggot on this rig, on the lighter rig, and I've got a heavier rig here, 4x16s. But it's been a bit blowy today. The lake is towing, but what I've decided to do today is just come and keep it really simple. I've approached today with just pellets and expanders, micros and expanders, and I'm going to fish 13 to 14.5 metres. How I've started my day today. I've started on the feeder at 30 metres. Now I've fed my lines, and as I've said before, it's all about timing on commercials. Yes, we know the fish are going to come in closer later on as the day goes on. Now sometimes you will go out and catch on a pellet straight away at 14 metres, but 9 times out of 10 you need to prime that line. Just like we did at Alders Farm. I've started on a cage feeder, I've put a bit of bait out, I've caught a couple of bream, some skimmers, but I've fished that cage feeder line religiously for 2 hours, knowing there was no point me fishing on that pellet line till at least 2 hours into the 5-hour session. As I said, it's now 4 hours in. I've probably caught 8 to 10 fish on the feeder in the first 2 hours. It is really cold. Have I mentioned that it's cold? To be honest, it actually was really cold this morning. When we set the gear up, we had a bit of ice on the platform. But as I said, today, pellets only on the pole and ground bait, maggots, worms on the feeder. Now after 2 hours on the feeder, no, actually guys, I'm going to tell you how I kick-started my day off. I started with a small bait up feeder at 30 metres. I gave it 5 feederfuls with nothing in it whatsoever. And when I say nothing in it whatsoever, it was just pure ground bait. Today's ground bait has been Sonia Bates Thatcher's original, straight out the bag, nothing else to it. And I've just put in 5 medium bait up feeders full of just pure ground bait and nothing else in it. Simply because I felt, with it being so cold this morning, would it affect my peg if I put loads of worms in? As I've always said on my videos, let's not go gun-ho. It's easier to put bait in than it is to take it out. Once it's in, that's it. And if you've made a mistake, you can make so many mistakes this time of year by going gun-ho at the start. So do a little bit softly at the start, and then you can gauge your peg. Simple. Everybody loves putting worms in for bream. Never fish for bream without worms. However, sometimes worms can be the kiss of death. But today, on that feeder line, when I started, I just put pure ground bait in, as I said, and it wasn't until I started putting worms in that I started to get bites. So I fished with worms in a window feeder, and I've caught 8 to 10 skimmers on that feeder line. In the meantime, to kickstart this pellet line live, all I did was put in a golf ball size ball of micros, and I just sprinkled a little bit of ground bait on it just to bind the pellets together. I don't like my pellets too wet. I want them nice and, well, just so you can squeeze them gently and they'll stick together, because I want them to break up. So what I've done is just sprinkled a little bit of ground bait on them just to form it into a golf ball size ball, and I topped that in at 13 metres. I also put a few 4mm Pro expanders in just to give the fish something to eat, and that's that, because that is going to be my hook bait. So just give them a few free offerings. Oh, and there we go. Oh, that's a better one. Oh, that might even be a carp. Let's have a look. No, I think it's a bream. It's not gone. The initial run was quite strong. I'm fishing the new 3 to 6 hollow. It's nice and soft. When I lifted into that fish, it did run. 5 or 6 foot of elastic come out, but it's come back at me, so it's telling me it's probably a bream. Yeah, it's a good bream, I think. Looks like a couple of pounds. It's just rolled on the surface. Gently does it, as I always said. No rush. Concentrate on getting the fish in rather than trying to have a race with them. Let your elastic do the work, nice and smoothly. Yeah, it feels like a good bream. When I say good bream, £1.5, £2. Let's have a look at her. Yeah, she's a pound and a bit. Oh, there we go, lovely. Another cracking Meadowlands skimmer. Just get that hook out, hold that up for you guys. Beautiful. Mwah. Let's get you in the net. Now my rigs today, I'm going to touch on my rigs. 4x14s F1 maggot. I've got 2 rigs for this pellet line. I've got a 1/2 gram and I've got a 4x14s. Now both rigs are shotted with stots, simply because it gives me the opportunity to bulk it down or string them out. Now the wind has got some, when we first got here today, guys, it was flat calm, so we chose to sit over here. This is the shallowest side of the lake at Meadowlands, and in the Silvers League here at the weekend, this bank here was fantastic. There were some 50-pound weights, proper bream, and because of the mild weather, the fish have gone, well, I say they haven't gone, but they were happy to be over here on this shallower side. So we chose to sit here, but after about 2 hours, the wind changed direction. It's been blowing an absolute hoolie, and it was freezing. Did I mention it was cold? So I kick-started that peg off on my pellet line, that golf ball of micros. Here we go, we're in again. I just kept priming this line. I did have an odd look on it, but I wasn't expecting to catch any fish really early on this line. I know what Meadowlands is like. It's crucial. The last 2 hours in any 5-hour session is always going to be crucial. If you feed it correctly and don't go silly, the chances are, as I said when we was at Alders Farm, it's all about timing on commercials. So, as I said, 2 rigs, 4x14s and 1/2 gram. And that gave me an option. So both got stots. Now I've been messing around with my shotting today. At one point, when the wind dropped a little bit, I fished it strung out. Did it make any difference? No, not really. But as again, and I will say it again, it's up to us as anglers to mess around with our rigs, mess around with our shotting patterns, and let the fish tell us how they prefer to feed. Some days you want to bulk right down, virtually on top of your hook length, drop it down, hold it still, and that's the best way to catch them. But today, I tried a strung out rig, wasn't quite right, bulked down against my hook length, that still wasn't quite right, getting silly bites, I was missing bites. So I've gone to move my bulk about 18 inches above my hook with 2 number 10 stots droppers, and that seems to be the best way of catching the skimmers today. But there's no guarantee that's going to catch them like that all the time. So as I said, it's down to us anglers to chop and change whatever we're doing to get bites. There we go. Now another thing that's been really apparent, when I've started to feed fish on this line, I was topping up with a little tiny ball of micros. And although I was catching fish, it wasn't very quick. And my thinking was probably I put too much bait on the bottom, the fish were going a bit scatty. So what I've done, once I knew there was a lot of fish in my peg, I've stopped putting in a ball of ground bait, let me put my teeth in, stopped putting in a ball of micros, and I've changed to firing 4mm softened pellets. Now it's fishery pellets only here at Meadowlands, so 4mm softened pellets. I did them this morning. All I did was cover them in water, left them in a plastic bag for about 4 or 5 minutes, and then drained the water out and sealed the bag. By the time I'd driven an hour up the motorway here and got fishing, probably 2 or 3 hours, they were perfect, nice and soft, but dry, not gone all fluffy, and I can fire them with a catapult. Talking of catapults, today I'm out with the new catapults from Map today. I've been product testing them today. I've got to say, absolutely fantastic. They are so accurate, and also the amount of work that's gone in with these catapults so that when you fire, it groups your bait tightly together. Brilliant, very, very accurate, and keeps your bait very, very tight. But as I was saying, guys, started loose feeding 5 or 6 4mm softened pellets, and I'm fishing a 4mm expander on the hook. That has definitely got me more bites. Yet again, nothing set in stone. It's about you as the angler, and I say it all the time, only we can make the difference. What we do as an angler is what makes a difference. How we approach a peg, how we feed. And I say it again, and I keep saying I'll say it again, the slightest little thing can make a massive difference, especially in winter. How you lay your rig in, how you move your shot about on your rig. It's down to the angler to make all them little changes. And trust me, when you get it right, it'll be a fisher chuck. Now, just like any other fishing with pellets, everybody loves a natural pellet, but we all love a little bit of variation. Now, simple micros, fishery micros, normal standard pro expanders, but just like all other aspects of your fishing, feeder fishing, normal pole fishing, maggot fishing, you all have a change of colour. Now, feast your eyes on them. I've got there all 4mm pro expanders, but what I've done before I came this morning, I've used some lava rocks, Sonia Bates lava rocks, and in a little plastic bag I've put a handful of 4mm expanders, and I've coloured the 4mm expanders just like normal maggot fishing or pinky fishing. You change the colour, and there's no reason why you can't do that when you're expander pellet fishing. I've got red, natural, orange and black. Now, I've caught some on the red today, I've caught a few on the orange. I've not had any fish on the black. That might just be down to the colour, but I'm sure at some point there will be a time where black will be good. So, I've caught on red, caught on orange, caught on standards, but nothing on the black. But I've given myself an option today. Who knows, it might have been brilliant on red, it might have been brilliant on orange, it might have been brilliant on black, but I've given myself an option. So if I had just had one colour expander pellet, and I couldn't get a bite on that, I would have thought, hey, I can't catch on expanders today. But I've given myself an option, and like on when you're fishing wafters on a method feeder or an embed feeder, sudden change in the colour of your wafter or your bottom bait can bring you some more fish, and it's exactly the same with expander pellets. Try a little different angle. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but if you give yourself the option, you'll catch more fish. So that's what I use in the hook bait, guys. So I'm just going to put them down. I'm just going to show you what I fed. So I've got here some fishery micros, and I've also got a bait what with just some Thatcher's Original, and all I did was I just put a few micros in with my ground bait, squeezed it tight, and that was my initial feed that I put on that pellet line. Now, I did expect to top up, which I have done throughout the day, but initial feed, that was it. As I said, once you put it in, you can't take it out. So I fed this one ball at the start. Before I fed again, after 2 hours, I had a look on that line to see if there was any fish there, because sometimes that is all you will need to feed. But I didn't catch anything, so I fed again, knowing that I wasn't putting a ball back on top of feeding fish. So one ball at the start, micros and a little bit of Thatcher's Original, and I feel my way in. It's really important, I keep telling you, you must feel your way in at this time of year. Go gun-ho. You could ruin your whole day in the first 5 minutes and you will never recover. So take your time, feel your way in, and that will catch you more fish. Well guys, as you can see from the filming, that it's got a strong ripple on it today, and it's definitely made the lake tow. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I've got some 4mm, soaked 4mm pellets here, fishery pellets. And as the lake started to tow, that's definitely been better than trying to loose feed a ball of micros. The noise, pulling the fish in, oh, missed a bite then. What a numpty. Pellets come off. So, to sum it up today, whereas when I was at Alders Farm, I fed 2 lines on that pole line. I fed 10 to 12 and 10 past 12. Now, that's because I had ground bait and loose feeding maggots on their own. With pellets, it's a bit different. I was only going to fish pellets on this line today, so I just put all my feed down the same hole and just waited for the fish to turn up. They always turn up at Meadowlands. I know Meadowlands quite well, and I know that the fish will turn up at some point. But as anglers, again, it's down to us. The decisions we make whilst we're fishing can make a massive difference. I just felt that when I was putting in little tiny balls of micros, I couldn't pin the fish down, and I felt that when I changed to loose feed in the softened 4mm, it definitely got me quicker bites. The lake was towing a bit, and I just felt that it made the fishing better for me. You just sort of get that feeling when you're fishing. You think, you know, maybe if I loose feed a few 4mm, and when I say a few, I mean literally a few, you know, because they've been soaked, they're a lot heavier than the dry pellets. Oh, do you know what? I think there might be a carp in my bag, because I'm getting silly bites then, and I'm missing them. My pellets come off again. Another thing today as well, because the lake's been towing, although I like to fish pellet dead depth, and if the conditions allow me to fish dead depth, well, half a float body on the bottom when I plumb up, that's normally I like to fish it. But I've fished a heavier rig, the 1/2 gram rig, and I tried to hold it still with about 6 inches of line on the bottom, and the presentation just wasn't right. Whether the rig was too heavy, I don't know. The rig might be too heavy to fish. The fish were telling me that isn't how they wanted it today. So I've gone with the 4x14s, and as I move my bulk down to about 18 inches above my hook, with 2 number 10 Stotts droppers. But because it's towing, what I've done is I've actually put 3 inches of line on the bottom just to slow it down, because it's pulling the rig through. And if I just let it go with the tow slightly, then just hold it still, and it has been difficult in this wind today. It's been a strong wind today coming from my left, and at times I've had to let the pole go. We've had some strong gusts, but I found today, using the lighter rig, a little bit more over depth than what I would normally do with a light rig, and just letting it lay on the bottom a little, just to slow it down as it starts to tow. That's definitely been better. Oh, bumped a fish then. I might have too many fish in my peg now. Normally when you bump them, there's too many fish and you're getting a few foul lookers. So what I'm going to do now, because of that, I'm not going to loose feed. Because maybe the loose feed and the noise of the loose feed, the pellets going in, is making the fish into a bit of a frenzy. So just going to cut that out for a couple of drop-ins, see if I can actually get a bite without loose feeding. Because maybe I've put too much bait in the peg, and all these little things make a massive difference. And I keep saying it, guys, it's up to us anglers to make the decisions. You know, there is nothing set in stone in fishing. It's down to us to make these decisions that make a difference. So let's see now. I'm not going to loose feed. Let's see if I can get a quicker bite, because the only food going through the water now is my pellet, rather than the 4 or 5 pellets falling through the water. Now the only bait that's going in. So it's still towing quite hard. Just going to give that a little edge and just a little pull every now and again. It's been very hard to lift and drop today, guys, because of the side wind and the light flow. It's been very hard to lift it and lower it in them last 6 inches. But I've found today, just by holding the float still, has encouraged a bite. We've had some nice fish, £2, £2.5 fish. Also had lots of tiny little skimmers, sort of like 6-7 ounces. There we go. Oh, I missed a bite. I really think there's a carp in my peg because I'm getting bites on. I haven't missed this many bites all day. I really want to go for that catapult, guys. But I say the session's coming to an end now. It's getting, the light's starting to go. It's about 3 o'clock, 3:15. We've had a fantastic day. I've had a great day product testing again. I've got to use today for the first time the new hollow elastic. Really impressed, like it. Comes in 6 metre length, so you can do 2 top kits with it. Sensibly priced. I couldn't tell you how much it is because I don't know yet. All I know is it comes in 6 metre lengths, so you can do 2 top kits, especially if you've got long top kits like we have on the map range. 2 top kits for 1 lot of elastic. Great. I'd say that's good value for me. I'm just getting silly bites now. I don't think they're roach. I just think there might be some. It's that time of day. I think there might be some carp in my peg. Let's try and get 1 more fish to finish the day off. Wind is just starting to drop a bit now. I might just be able to lift and drop a bit. Oh. Allows me to do it. It's definitely showing the signs there might be some carp in my peg because I've missed a few bites. I'm not getting bites very quickly now, and I was getting bites very quickly. There we go. That might even be a better skimmer actually. There we go. Hopefully we'll get this in, guys, and we'll call this a wrap. Get this in. Been using the new rollers today as well. So yeah, look, everything, all the new products will be available at the end of March. We've got some new rods, we've got some new rollers. Yeah, slightly better fish. Yeah, maybe that's the reason why I couldn't get a bite. Some better fish in my peg. Hopefully, nice fish to end the session with. Ah! Ah, dear Westy. What a numpty. Right, guys, I just lost that last one at the net. So we've gone back out. I'm going to try and catch one to finish this video off. It's been an absolutely fantastic day. I'm just going to put a few pellets out again. Trying to encourage 1 more fish. That famous last drop in. Gutted I lost that one. Looked like a good fish as well. Looked like a couple of pound. Unfortunately, it's pulled off. It's just gone to net it. That's probably the reason why I went a little bit quiet. Some better fish in my peg. Oh, missed a bite. So to summarise today, guys, really, it's what could I do to offer some tips. I hope you enjoyed what I've done again today. We had some really good response from the video we did at Alders Farm. Some really nice comments. Thank you for all you guys that have commented and liked the videos. I am going to try and get out on the bank with Tony quite a bit more this year. And there we go, we've got a fish. Hopefully we'll keep this one on. Slightly better fish again. I think maybe that's why it's gone a bit quiet. Hopefully we'll get this one in, or it will be the curse of the camera again. I want to go home. Guys, look, it's been a great day here at Meadowlands. Always a great day here at Meadowlands. There's so many fish in this venue. Today's purpose was today to get to do some product testing, as I said, and hopefully, yeah, it feels like a good fish. Elastic's out, and I think that's why it's gone quiet, guys. Some better fish in me peg. Let's hopefully we can finish off with this today. Feels like a good fish. Oh, now it's running again. Oh, here we go. Come on, girl. Yeah, lovely fish to finish with. Oh, lovely. Well guys, that's me wrapping it up today. Nice fish to finish with. Don't know which camera I'm looking at. It must be that one there, Tony. Guys, look at that. Great day on the bank. Don't forget guys to subscribe and check out the Map Fishing YouTube channel, where you can see some great videos from not just myself but other guys from the team at Map. Take care, and I'll see you on the bank sometime. Bye for now.